Again, my name is Mike Roadhouse. I'm a lawyer here in Columbus, Ohio. And Dave and the Roundtable had engaged me to take a very close look at proposed State Issue 6 from the perspective of analyzing whether, from a legal perspective, the monies that are touted as probably going back to the counties, whether from a legal perspective those monies are locked in or not. And I think Dave rather succinctly summarized that my conclusion after looking at proposed Issue 6 is that in no way are the numbers that My Ohio Now is proposing, are those numbers locked into law. And in fact, it is very likely that should Issue 6 pass, at some point in the future, the proposed tax that would then be redistributed to the counties is either going to be greatly reduced or, as Dave said, will be eliminated altogether. I mean, as Dave noted, about 4 months ago, the Eastern Shawnee Tribe of Oklahoma took the rather unprecedented step of actually filing with the United States Department of the Interior an application to have 2 parcels of land in Ohio taken into trust by the federal government for the purposes of erecting Indian casinos on those 2 parcels of land. The parcels of land in question are one in Monroe, Ohio, off Interstate 75. I think in Warren County, near the Warren County, Butler County line. And the other parcel is in the village of Botkins, Ohio, in Shelby County, slightly south of Wapakoneta, also a site off Interstate 75. This is the first time in the recent history of Ohio that any Indian tribe has gone to the lengths of actually filing an application with the Department of the Interior to have land set aside for them for casinos. And as Dave noted, that has very, very serious implications for State Issue 6. As Dave noted, under federal law, state and local governments have no legal authority whatsoever to tax Indian casinos. And as Dave noted in the language that's on the board behind me, Issue 6 does have this trap door in it that says, in the event a second or more casinos are opened in the state of Ohio under state or federal law, then that tax rate that My Ohio Now is touting in its materials as being 30% on the casino gross receipts, that tax rate will drop automatically without any action by the General Assembly. That tax rate will drop automatically to the lower of 25% or the tax rate on the second or subsequent casinos. So now the conclusion is clear. If Indian casinos located in the state of Ohio, and by law they cannot be taxed, then Indian casinos' tax rate is 0. And thus, I think, under the terms of the amendment, that the alleged 30% tax would drop all the way to 0, and the counties would get nothing if Indian casinos are opened here. Now, I would imagine that perhaps Mr. Berman and his group, that they would react to this news by saying, well, boy, it's very unlikely that an Indian casino will open in the state of Ohio. And prior to the filing of this application by the Eastern Shawnee, I might have agreed with it. But now that this application has been filed with the Department of the Interior, it makes the possibility of Indian casinos in the state of Ohio very, very real. And thus, should Issue 6 pass, it makes the possibility that this supposed 30% tax on this casino near Wilmington would drop if an Indian casino opens here all the way to 0%. And the counties, again, would get nothing. So that's basically